my DoorDash people. So few things that I wanted to discuss. As you can see by the thumbnail, this message is more, while it's for us as drivers, it's more directly towards DoorDash. And this is, of course, DoorDash. If you're watching, I'd like to assume they have somebody there that's watching at least certain videos, more ones that go viral than anything, especially here on YouTube, maybe TikTok, Instagram, but more probably YouTube. And this is just something, I don't know if I speak for everybody, but I'd like to hear your comments down below on what it is that I'm about to speak on, and my opinion about it. This is my opinion, how I think about this. And few things. Obviously, us as Dashers, we get up, and again, this is to DoorDash. Us as Dashers, we get up, we sign in, we're accepting these offers, whether they're amounts that we're wanting to accept or not. Most of us are accepting these offers. We're getting up, we're going and picking up the food. It'll be on time. Sometimes not, depending on the merchant, but we're picking it up. We get it to the customer. Everything's perfect up until that point. And what I'm speaking on is when we deliver these orders, it's your request that we're taking pictures of the orders while we're leaving them at the door. It's your request that if it's a hand to me, then it's a hand to me. Now, occasionally I get this PIN thing where you're giving a PIN number to them, or I don't know if it's the merchant giving a PIN number through the app for the customer to then give to us as drivers to clear the order to be able to confirm that it's dropped off. Me, I think it's a perfect idea for any hand-to-me customers, because then that means you had to give me that code before I can hand the order to you to confirm that it's dropped off. So me personally, where I heard a lot of people don't really care for it, if you have a hand-to-me customer, I would prefer that there's a PIN number that they would have to give us to confirm that we've dropped the order off to them and they have the order complete. One reason for that, it's getting to the point to where it doesn't even matter that we're taking pictures, because all these customers are having to do is just call and say they didn't get their order. Even though we took a picture, they can say that we didn't get their order, and then they're calling you, and the first thing that you're running and doing as DoorDash is going and give them a credit for their whole order, and then you want to send us a contract violation. You don't even contact us to say, hey, because obviously whatever happened just happened. They don't wait a day or two to find out they didn't get their food. They're reporting it immediately. So I'm trying to understand why you as a company is not picking up the phone to call and say, hey, what happened to this McDonald's order for Kelly? And I can explain to you, hey, I dropped it off, I took the picture, or I handed it to them. And it would be nice, again, if I handed it to them, I had a PIN number that they had to give me to then show proof that they actually got the order, because who would give me a PIN number if they don't have the order in their hand? And this is going to lead me to the next issue that I have when it comes to this whole thing. So we have that part of picking up and dropping off, which is the leave at the door type thing. Now, from seeing a video by another content creator that there was an alcohol order, and we're actually scanning the back of driver's licenses. So I'm not really trying to hear that it was some glitch or some problem that created the contract violation, but now I have to have a concern about either A, handing the food to customers and them saying that they didn't get it. Now, even worse, picking up alcohol deliveries and having to scan somebody's ID for it to be verified, for the customer to say that they did not get their order, and you guys actually run with it and then give the driver a contract violation, really? And this is what I mean by you don't even pick up the phone to call and say, hey, what happened with this order or this and that, and just to investigate it for a quick moment. The first thing you run and do is just go give everybody a contract violation, and then you just expect them to appeal it, when it's like, we did everything perfect. We did exactly what we were supposed to do, yet we're the one that's penalized. All because of customer. The trust with every customer is just like, wow, it's wild. I don't understand it. We as drivers don't understand it. These are the proof of things that you request that we do when we pick up and drop off orders. But it's like, now, where's the security in it all if all the customer has to do is say they didn't get it, and there you go, giving away money or giving a full credit, and then you want to penalize us drivers without even asking questions, and now we have to try to fight something, and if it doesn't get removed, the contract violation, now we have to cycle through 100 orders just to get it removed. So I'm just as positive and as perfect as I try to do things, I still get frustrated, and I still do have a line that can be crossed when it comes to certain things like this. Now, granted, I haven't had to deal with any scams or anything. I mean, there's a couple times, but I was able to keep things from happening because just the ways that I do things and taking pictures and making sure I have proof in certain sticky situations where I feel like it's a scamming type of thing. So, like I said, to be able to scan somebody's ID now, you scanned it, verified it. Why would I go and pick up alcohol, not have the order or keep the order, walk up to the door and say, hey, I need to scan your ID before I can hand you this order. I have no order in my hand, yet they actually stick out their ID and I scan it just to walk away and say, have a nice day, just so the customer can go in there and call and say they didn't get their order. Really? You know how silly that sounds and how crazy that looks? So it's like we as drivers have no trust in the process and the system if all you're going to do is just take the customer's word for it. Now, granted, there are a lot of dashers out there that don't care. They don't have common sense. They don't have the right mental mind. And they're taking orders, or maybe they want to quit or something like that, and they don't care, so they'll take an order before they stop driving. Like, I can assume there's a few cases of that out there, but not compared to the amount of drivers that's out here doing right. That's a very small percentage compared to the drivers that's out here doing right. So it's like that part just sucks. So that's number one. Number 2 and 3 kind of fall in line with one another, and I'm going to start with the customers. As the customers, they place orders, we pick the orders up, we deliver them on time, we pick up on time, we deliver on time, we leave the order just like they requested it, whether it's hand to me or leave at the door. And probably specifically for the hand to me's, but it could be at the leave at the doors also, depending on things that are either sent to us by text messages or in person. How come we cannot rate the customer? How is the customer just allowed to rate us? It should be a two-way street. It should be a two-way street to make things fair. I have no reason to rate that person bad unless they're treating me in a bad way, just like you expect the customer to rate us so you can be let known exactly how we're treating the customer. Why can't we report to you guys how customers are to us? Why do we get the short end of the stick when it comes to that? I mean, I'm fine. I'm just speaking out in general. Like, my ratings are totally fine. My service is actually good. But there are things that's happening out there that just even makes me question just the possibility that something can happen like that. But the customer is able to rate us, and now I move to the merchant. The merchant can rate us. If it's not a rating type of thing, they sure can click that they don't want us to be a driver for them anymore, to handle their food anymore, and they can remove us from getting orders or dealing with us as drivers. So why is the customer and the merchant able to rate us and we're not able to rate anybody? We're just having to take the short end of the stick and just screw it. It would be nice to rate the customer. If the customer's giving us an attitude or this and that, whether it's by text message or in person, I would like to be able to report that as a 1 to 5 stars. And I would say anything under 3 stars that you actually have a comment box to actually type in, why am I giving a 3-star or below? So then that way you can build files on these customers out here, because you know there's a lot of unruly customers. You know there's a lot of customers out there with attitudes. You got a lot of prejudice, a lot of racists out there. And as drivers, we put ourselves at risk going and delivering to these people's porches and doors. And to not be able to rate them. And same thing with the merchants. That's a whole nother story. I'd like to be able to rate the merchants. Again, from 1 to 5 stars, 3 stars, anything below, to actually type in why, so then you guys actually have a reason why we're rating that. And you can build a file on the merchant, so that way when they get out of line, you can reach out to them and say, hey, we're getting too much feedback from the drivers that's saying that they're being treated this specific way or these ways, like way too many. And then same thing with the customers too, with the customers as well. If we're building up a file against certain type of customers or whatever it is, I mean, you can then threaten them to deactivate them from being able to even have an account, deactivate their account from being able to use DoorDash. But it just seems like that's your money in, so you're not going to mess with that part. But yet the drivers that actually work contract through you to actually deliver this food, which then makes you money, you leave us on the short end of the stick, where we can't even rate them. When I say the merchant, on the merchant side, I'm talking when I go in there and the merchants have attitudes. We're there just to pick up food from them. They have attitudes, or they're creating issues or problems. I would like to be able to rate the merchant. Additionally to that, I've dealt with certain ethnicity and prejudice, or that was what I meant, prejudice situations or possibly racist situations, to where I've been in there to pick up orders in certain merchants, and there'll be another ethnicity or another race that'll come in and pick up an order, and I just hate to be told what my job is to do, and I hate to have to show you something or this and that. Where I've seen people come in and pick up orders, they say, oh, I'm here to pick up an order for Crystal, and they just hand that person the order and they're off to their way. But then when I come to the counter to pick up the order, they're like, let me see the order. Or when they hand it to me, hey, can you confirm that order? Can you show me that you're confirming that order? And it's like, I take offense to that. I've been driving for 6 years plus. Being a side gig, a side hustle. I've been driving for 6 years plus, and my rating system is pretty much been perfect all 6 years for the most part. It's like, I don't like to be told what to do with my job. I don't come in there telling them what to do with their job. I don't go into McDonald's and tell them, hey, strain those fries from the oil a little bit more. Hey, make sure you make that customer's Big Mac. Hey, make sure you're counting out my change. Like we don't do that, because you trust that they're doing what they're supposed to do. They got the order sent to them. They get the order prepared. They get it bagged up. All I can do is confirm that I got a bag of food, because obviously I can't go in it and I don't want to. Confirm that and possibly have a drink in my hand if there's a drink that goes with it. Of course, McDonald's puts their drinks in the bag, so you would have to kind of shake it about if you want to know if there's a drink in the bag or not. But that's not our job to find out, to make sure that everything is complete come that bag. Maybe just the drinks on the side. But again, just back to the fact that you telling me what my job is, like, give me the order in my hand and then I'll confirm that I've picked it up. Don't tell me to confirm pickup and you still have the order in your hand. I don't like that. I don't. Because I don't tell you what your job is. I let you do your job. I wait patiently for the order, and then, but when it comes to me, and especially after seeing you just handing an order to somebody where you didn't ask to see them, that's the prejudice that I'm talking about. Possibly racist type things. Me being black and going in certain places or whatever it is, and I hate to bring race into it, but it is one thing that we do deal with. And I'm not just saying me as a black person. There's lots of cases where there's lots of different races and ethnicities that deal with stuff like this. You judging me a certain way, like you think I'm gonna steal your order, like from you. I don't need to steal no order. I don't care if it's $1 cheeseburger or $100 cheeseburger. I don't want any of your food to mess around and lose my job that I make the thousands and thousands of dollars a year. You think I'm gonna risk that over any order that comes through this system? No, I'm not. Of course, I can't sit there and go off on them, but there's been times where it's like, I let them know. I obviously have to click confirm to get the address so I can get to the GPS button for directions. So of course I have to click confirm. Like, there's been a couple cases where I've had to tell them, and it depends on the way their attitude is when they're telling me if I can click and confirm, like as if they don't trust me. And my thing about it is, again, if you have dashers out there that are stealing orders, that's an individual by individual case basis that DoorDash has to deal with come the merchant. Don't assume that I'm just out here, or we're all out here just stealing orders to where now you have to be this specific way with every driver that comes in. And again, this is the part where I'm talking about if they're giving us any attitude or like that we actually are able to rate the merchant as well. So it would just be nice overall just to be able to have that rating system and it be a two-way street. That way the merchant feels that pressure, And that way the customer also feels the pressure that they can lose their account to be able to order DoorDash. Don't leave us drivers out to hang and dry like that and just trust the customer just because they're the ones paying. Yet you're just out there giving up all this money to them in credits. And now it's a known thing now. You're allowing the customer to feel and understand that all they have to do is pick up a phone and say, hey, I didn't get the order. And there you go, crediting them to the full amount. And then you want to attack us drivers. And mind you, there are a few drivers that probably are doing wrong. But in comparison, I'm talking less than 1% in comparison to the 99 that are actually doing their job and delivering orders and doing right by things. So to rate them would generally be nice, because you would have files on them, and at that point you can decide to delete that, to deactivate that customer's account. And the merchant can feel pressure to make sure that when dashers do come through here, that you treat them with respect, the same respect that you want. And if not, they get rated a certain way, and there should be a rating standard for that company that's signed up to do business with you to request drivers to come and pick up food for them. So that's it. DoorDash, I hope you're listening. I mean, I know for some things you probably do. In this case here, I mean, I don't feel I'm perfect. I mean, anybody, driving wise or not, merchants down below, you can you can comment down below. Let me know how you feel about this. And I'm really more probably specific to the drivers. Do you feel like you would like a rating system, and whether it matters or not, whether they're going to do it or not? Would it be something that you would like to see? Because at the end of the day, if DoorDash is watching and they're seeing the comments, it's going to be based on what you say. I mean, I'm just one person, but for me, I think outside the box a little bit when it comes to certain things like that. And it would just be nice and it would be fair to be able to have that same respect and same thing that we can do across the board. You can leave us ratings. How come I can't leave you ratings? Or it'd be nice to leave ratings for customers and merchants. Let me know down below in the comments how you guys feel about that. And I know I did a previous video on the whole PIN number situation and with hand-to-me customers. And like I said, this only comes up again because a content creator dropped off an alcohol order and actually scanned an ID just for the customer to say they didn't get the order, and you still gave the driver a contract violation. So now we're running into issues where hand-to-me's are a problem. So me personally, I'm thinking, because I got one order from Target, a shop and deliver, where the customer had to give me a PIN number before I could confirm the drop off of the order, that is something that you probably should implement into the app when it comes to hand-to-me orders. For me to be given a PIN number before I can hand the order to you, so that way you can't say that I didn't give it to you, because how did I get that PIN number? If I didn't give you the order, you wouldn't have gave me the PIN number. So if I'm giving you the order and I'm requesting that PIN number from you to confirm the drop off, they'll have no choice but to give it to me, or they're not getting their order. And that would be a very simple way to deal with the hand-to-me customers. And then the leave at the door customers, I don't even know what to do anymore, because all you tell us to do is leave a picture, and it just seems like that picture can mean nothing, because they can still call and say they didn't get their order, and you're still just leaving us a contract violation. So why am I even wasting my time taking a picture if you're not even trusting that picture and GPS location? And granted, there are some dashers that have taken pictures. I've seen it. I've seen videos where dashers have been caught on camera taking a picture of the food and then just walking right up to the food and picking up and walking away. Now, is there much that can be done about that? Probably not. But that, again, you got to deal with that driver individually and deactivate their account if that's something that they know they did. But what about the rest of us that actually leave the pictures? You take the pictures, we have the GPS locations, the customers get their food. Like, I don't understand it. Like, what more can we do to assure the security that I say that I dropped this order off, I take the picture to make sure that it goes through solid? Because it's way too many customers now calling. You're going to make it a trend, DoorDash, to where it's already like that, to where customers feel they can just contact you guys and just say that, hey, they didn't drop off my order. They kept it, they stole it, something, and there you go, just giving up money. So So I'll leave it there. Like I said, it was more about the rating system, to see about when it comes to that, because I feel like it would go full circle. The merchants would try to stay in check or in line, and the customers as well. If the customers know that there's a rating system, or they possibly can't get orders picked up because their ratings are too low. I mean, I don't see that really happening, because now that's money that you guys as DoorDash have to decline from a customer trying to order. So that's money you won't get. So I'm kind of seeing like you're not going to do that. But I'm just saying, if there's enough complaints against that customer, that it's probably worth that one customer to not do business with that one customer, because they're just messing with too many drivers. And it's like, for some people, this is our livelihood. For some people, it's their livelihood doing this DoorDash thing. Me personally, as an extra, it's a side gig. But you have some people out here doing it for actual income. So if it's that easy for a customer to just say, and then you're quick to deactivate a driver like it's nothing, it's sad, because it sucks that because a customer lied, you deactivated a whole driver's account without even contacting them to find out what happened or if anything happened at all because the customer said so. You decided to just run with that. So it's just, I feel it's not right. It's not okay. And granted, the only time we hear from you guys, when we do call and report certain things or whatever it is, you're just like, oh, well, we'll forward it to look into further investigation or something like that. Nothing's ever dealt with on spot. And then we never hear anything back. We don't hear no outcome from anything. That contract violation just continues to sit there until we scroll through 100 or more orders, and then it comes off. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm as positive as I can possibly be. I'm patient, but these are things that I have thought about over the years of driving that would be nice. So with that said, your boy C-Moto, you know what it is. Sorry to have to vent like that. But DoorDash they have to do better. Because it's just getting to the point to where there's no security behind any of the orders, and now people can just do what they want, and the drivers are paying for it. You get to do whatever you need to do with the drivers that are bad drivers. They deserve whatever it is they get. But there's a lot of good drivers out here that are paying for things that are just lies, and it's not okay. With that said, I'll leave you guys at that. I just arrived home. I'm going to get signed in so I can make me a few dollars. And until next time, people, you know me, C-Moto, I am out.